Hi, this is Julie, and in this overview video, I want to review with you a selection of the wire tools available for you at Beadaholic. There's a lot to choose from. I'm going to go pretty quickly through these. We do have more detailed videos on almost all of them at beadaholic.com. So first off, when you're working with wire, there's some basic tools you're going to need. And these here are the basic ones. And this is just a small sampling of the ones that we have available by various brands. But there's the Bentnose plier, the duckbill flat nose, the chain nose, and this comes to a nice little point, and the round nose. So these are really your core pliers that you're going to work with on a regular basis. Now there's also specialty pliers to help you with your wire working projects. There are wire banding pliers. So these are great if you're doing really precise wire wrapping. It helps to get that first band started. There are nylon jaw pliers. These help to protect the wire from being nicked and marred. There are shaped mandrel pliers. These are super fun. You don't see these very often. And these are just a small sampling of the ones that we do have. But you can see that we've got square ones and triangular shaped. And these are great because they allow you to create this precise shape over and over again, which is really good if you want to make a lot of components that are identical. There's also bail making pliers. Again, these are really fun if you are shaping wire, but also if you're shaping filigree, you can wrap it around the bail, around each nose. And you'll notice with all of these is a different size for each nose, which gives you really two pliers in one. There are wire looping pliers, so again, various sizes from very large to small. And then there's this one here, which is one of our favorite tools here at Beadaholic. This tool has one round nose and one concave nose. I'm going to show you how to use it really quickly here, because if you've not seen it before, it's something that's really one of those like aha moments in jewelry making. And you won't want to go back afterwards. So I just put a bead on a head pin and I'm just going to squeeze the wire, and it just created half a loop for me. And then I just go ahead, rotate it, finish working that wire around, and I have a really nice perfect loop, and then I would just trim that end to complete the loop. There are also pliers that do the actual trimming of the loop for you, and those are the one-step loopers. So we have a detailed video on how to use these, but it actually forms that loop and cuts it at the same time. Very handy. Now, if you are wanting to form shapes to make your own components or to actually build a design, we have wire jigs. So wig jig is actually a series of different wire jigs. I just have this one here, but it comes in a variety of shapes, and it comes with little metal pegs that you can place in these holes. So you can create your own custom shapes, and then you wrap your wire around the pegs. There is a 3D bracelet jig. So bracelets are very popular, of course, and this allows you to create a bangle bracelet using wire, and you can create various designs by putting pegs into the holes here. There are these little findings forms by Artistic Wire. These are nice because they create a set shape. You can create it over and over again. Really handy if you're making jewelry to sell. It's a great time saver. If you like doing wire knit or wire crochet, there are Drawplates. These help to work harden and smooth out your wire. For wire knitting, there is a wire knitter tool. This is a really fun tool that's easy to use and allows you to create a wire knit. If you work a lot with wire, you know that you'll sometimes end up with a piece and you don't know what gauge it is. Here's a wire gauge guide. It's got the actual wire gauges marked along the inside, and then on the outer edge there's these little notches. I'm going to show you really quickly how to use this with just a little scrap piece of wire I have. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to try to fit it into each notch, and you'll see it won't quite go into the 24. It gets stuck. Won't quite go into the 23, but it does easily go into the 22. So I now know that this is a 22 gauge wire. Then when you are working with wire, you're going to need to cut it at some point. So there are memory wire cutters. If you're familiar with memory wire, you know you don't want to use your regular cutters on it. It's incredibly strong. It will damage your regular cutters. So there are special memory wire cutters, end cutters, double flush cutters, and then flush cutters. You can see we have a variety of brands represented here as well. Then to file down your wire, there's the Vintage Relief Block. It sands and buffs wire, but also filigree and other metal pieces. There are files. This here is a great file by Vintage, but there's also diamond file sets if you want more variety. To help form your wire shapes, if you're making rings and bracelets, there are ring mandrels. Now this one is stepped, which helps you with your sizing. It's also fixed onto a base, which is very handy. We also have handheld ones, so if you'd rather use that. And there are bracelet mandrels. Again, this is going to help you to retain the shape you want. You can also go ahead and do your design work right on the mandrel, which is nice. And finally, there's tools to help you twist and curl your wire. So this is just one of them, but there are many more available. And this is a handy tool if you are going to be doing a lot of wire work where you want these great twists and you don't want to have to do that by hand each time. So there's a tool such as this. And actually there's other tools which will help you straighten out your wire if you don't want it to be curly. So a lot of different choices when it comes to your wire tools by a lot of different brands. We've got Beadsmith, Lindstrom, Vintage, Eurotool, Artistic Wire, just a lot to choose from. So I know I went pretty quickly through a lot of these tools and they do really deserve more explanation. So please check out the Beadaholic website. There's full product descriptions, but also almost every one of these tools has an individual video on it showing how to use it, which will provide you with even more information and hopefully inspiration as well.